Come on, Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. All about playing the long game, playing the long game, playing the long game, all right? Particularly in our businesses, in our mindsets, and what it is we are constantly putting out into the world and what we actually give our time to. And this is the reason I'm bringing this up today, is because this is a lesson that I recently learned how to do in an effective manner. All right, so let me give you just kind of some current events over here in the Move Swiftly world. All right, I have been absolutely booked. I mean, back to the past 2 days. Past 2 days, I've done a total of, past 3 days. Yeah, about 3 days. We're recording this on a Thursday, same day as the presidential debate in 2024 between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And for the past 3 days, I have recorded about 9 different guests, 9 different interviews for this very podcast that you may or may not be listening to this on this feed, whether it's you're listening to on YouTube or you're listening to on audio. I've recorded 9 episodes for the show, all right, in so many words. And there was a time when I first started the show, when I first started the podcast about 4 years ago, in which I was booking guests left and right. I was very busy when it comes to the amount of guests that I've had on the show. And then, there was a period of time there where it went strictly to solo episodes. And now, because shout out to Podmatch, they've revived my guest appearances and things like that. And the next step is gonna be me being a guest on several other shows as well, right? So anyway, all that being said, before, when I had a ton of guests on the show, I wasn't using it in the most productive way. I remember there was an actual time in which I was paying for, I think it was like Audiogram or something like that, and I myself had to be the one to listen to every episode, take one clip from the episode that I was going to post and all that. So nowadays I got hip to some game. Shout out to my dog Dre Baldwin, who, again, I'm a member of his coaching program, who, now that I'm with him, I'm sort of in tune and making sure I'm regularly communicating or checking in with him every 2 weeks in terms of where I'm at in my businesses and things like that, which is something I strongly recommend you guys do when it comes to finding a coach and finding people that can really kind of give you little tips about how to do things this way, do things that way. I was letting them know, hey, I'm booked for, weeks when it comes to all the podcast interviews that I'm doing. And as those interviews are getting done and as they're starting to get promoted, he was telling me, all right, here's what you do. Here's how you promote it. You put it in OPS clips, and when you get like 20 different clips per episode, you're going to have enough content that's going to be flowing. You're going to be able to post multiple times a day, and you can batch that stuff. You can spend about 30 to 45 minutes making sure it's coming out on specific days, and then your name just keeps floating and floating, keeps coming up over and over and over again. And I remember my question to him when he suggested that I do it like that. My question to him was, all right, so how does that actually help in regards to selling my high ticket offer, which is a professional development workshop, personal and professional development workshop, kind of both at the same time. And he was like, it's not going to directly help, but it will indirectly help. And he used this term that I want to make sure I bring to you guys. He goes, now you got to learn to understand the play in the long game and understanding the importance of, if you are going to sell high ticket, if you're going to be that person that wants to regularly get in front of people who will pay above 5 figures for whatever offer it is you have, you've got to be in the business also of playing the long game. And you have to have enough material out there in which when people are really serious about making that investment in you, they could spend hours upon hours just listening to your material, listening to how you talk, listening to the way you are, to the way you are, to the point where they feel like they actually know you, feel like they actually met you in person because of the amount of material and the fact that you just keep popping up over and over and over again. Your name just continues to show up on their feed, show up in their inbox, show up in show up in their day-to-day activity. And then as you continue to do the direct work, which is directly calling your ideal prospects and directly making your phone calls, you'll get clearer and clearer about what your content needs to be saying, who your content needs to be serving, how to put your content out there in a strategic way. That is the definition of playing the long game, is understanding whatever it is you do, whoever it is you interact with, make sure your time is being used to the utmost, all right, to just be in to make sure every single moment you are working, or every single thing that you do, you're ultimately serving your ideal avatar and serving your ideal people, so in turn you can get in front of the folks who will be willing to pay for your high ticket offer, right? And as you do that, and I'll close you out with this, as you do that, also what happens in the process is the fact that you get a crystal clear high ticket offer. Your high ticket offer is absolutely crystal clear, and you get to keep moving in a cohesive way, moving very swiftly in regards to how it is you do your business, all right? All that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, makeyourmove.com. That's makeyourmove.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.